I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs, a family of business owners. And so the idea of going to college and then getting a 9-to-5 job at a desk was a foreign concept in my family. And so I always had this kind of drive to do my own thing. When I was working in corporate, I thought I needed to get more contacts, I need to get more experience in working in large businesses so that when I do go out on my own, I have a network of people and I have a savings account and I have, the knowledge that I need to do that. Then the Great Recession happened and my 5-year plan became a 6-month plan when I got laid off. And so I really didn't feel like I had any other options or choices but to do it. And when you're at a place where you feel like you don't have a choice, like you can't just go out and get the job that you want, you do whatever it takes to make it. Starting my own business, my outcomes are in my hands. When I got laid off from my corporate job, the realization that I had is that there is no such thing as security. The only security we have is the things that we're actually able to do for ourselves. And so putting my income, my family's income, and my future in the hands of someone else who quite frankly really doesn't care about me was not something that I could do anymore. And so by starting my own business, it was taking my future in my own hands. If you are a tech startup owner, for example, and you're talking with customers to try to get their feedback to develop your product, that's a sales conversation. If you're going to investors for funding, it's definitely a sales conversation. If you're trying to convince employees to come on for you or banks to give you loans, it's a sales conversation. There's a quote from a book that I read that says, everything is selling. There's nothing that happens in this world. There's nothing that comes into this world until someone makes the sale. And if you don't believe me, imagine where you would be if your father hadn't sold your mother on the idea, right? Everything is selling, except we don't like to think of it that way. And so we become these things that we don't want to be. And the other thing of it is this: if you don't figure out your own sales stuff before you start hiring salespeople, you're going to pass along your negative beliefs and your bad habits onto them because the mindsets that we have are contagious to the people we surround ourselves with. And so as a business owner or an entrepreneur or a salesperson or a sales leader in a company, if you don't get straight your own head about sales and what it's really about, which is the buyer, then you're going to pass those things along. And this is where I see companies, small and large, create the very problems that they try to solve. Being a salesperson is stressful enough between the pressures that you're getting from your manager to the lack of responses from your buyers. And as a business owner, it's even more stressful because this is your life's work. This is your passion. This is how you're going to feed your family. And getting a job is not an option for a lot of them. But when they think of themselves as salespeople, they try to avoid it because we have this perception of sales as being pushy, slimy, sleazy, used car salesman, and nobody wants to be that. And as a result, they ignore sales or they try to go around sales or they think my product is so awesome, it's going to sell itself. And then when it doesn't, they either give up on their dream or they put themselves into bankruptcy or they become the thing that they hate. And so that's why I wanted to write the book, so that there are more business owners who can see their dreams fulfilled, that can actually grow their businesses without feeling like they've sold their soul to do so.